Michael Burry News. Big Short Michael Burry makes a dire prediction for 2023. The famed investor believes that this year will be a difficult one for the economy of the United States. As inflation maintains at its highest level in 40 years, consumers and investors are concerned about the extent to which the cost of living will increase. However, the question that everyone, including businesses, consumers, and the government is concerned about is whether or not the economy will enter a recession. The word that makes people nervous begins with the letter R. However, the likelihood of a recession in 2023 has been established beyond reasonable question by a significant number of economists. Bloomberg conducted a study in December of 38 experts and found that they anticipated a recession having a 70% likelihood of occurring in 2019. This is an increase from November's percentage of 65%. Demand is expected to decrease as a result of interest rate hikes implemented by the Federal Reserve. They anticipate that consumer spending, which accounts for 2/3 of GDP, will scarcely expand in the middle half of the year, and that this prediction is based on their projections. The median forecast for GDP growth in 2023 is for a meager 0.3% increase across the board. This includes a decrease of 0.7% on an annualized basis for the second quarter, as well as no increase whatsoever for the first and third quarters. According to Maria Vasilou, Co-Chief Investment Officer of Multi-Asset Solutions at Goldman Sachs Asset Management, we expect that the Federal Reserve will stay in restrictive policy for a while, unless the effect on real GDP growth and unemployment becomes particularly severe and inflation is falling close to target. This statement was made in response to the question of whether or not the Federal Reserve will move away from restrictive policy in the near future. The U.S. in recession by any definition. A number of prominent corporate figures, such as Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, have also previously warned of an impending recession. My recommendation to individuals and owners of small businesses is to eliminate certain potential dangers. If you are about to make a purchase, you might want to take a slightly more leisurely approach to making that transaction, Bezos stated last November. If you are a single person who is considering purchasing a brand new television with a large screen, you should probably hold off on making the purchase. Keep the money and see what unfolds. The same thing applies when purchasing a new automobile or refrigerator. Whatever it may be, let's eliminate some potential dangers. If you run a small business, you might want to consider delaying some major purchases. For example, do you really need that new piece of machinery? Just a little bit of risk reduction could make all the difference for that little firm. Perhaps it can wait a little while. It would be wise to have some cash on hand. This bleak prognosis appears to be shared by Michael Burry, who is regarded as the oracle of Wall Street due to his illustrious career as an investor. He has just finished making his initial forecast for 2023, and unfortunately, they are not optimistic. According to Burry, the economy of the United States will be in a recession in 2023, and it doesn't matter how the term recession is defined. On the first of the year, Burry remarked on Twitter, "Inflation has peaked. On the other hand, this is not the cycle's last high. We should anticipate a decrease in the CPI, which could even turn negative in the second half of 2023, and a recession in the United States according to any definition." Then, he goes on to explain a vicious circle. The Federal Reserve, which has increased interest rates to a level that has not been seen since the 2008 financial crisis, will reverse course and lower rates, while the federal government should unveil a stimulus program to assist households who are being choked by the weakening economy. All of this will culminate in yet another increase in inflation, which is analogous to what took place during the COVID-19 pandemic. In essence, we are going to witness a playback of the events that took place following March of 2020. The Federal Reserve will decrease rates, while the government will stimulate the economy, and there will be another jump in the price of goods. It's not that difficult, Burry says. Burry's past predictions are legendary. Burry became a household name as a result of one of the most disastrous economic events in the annals of history, the financial crisis of 2008. Because of this, he became one of the leading figures in the opposition to the conventional procedures that are followed in financial circles. In the film The Big Short, released in 2015, an investor who did not have specialized knowledge in real estate or finance describes how he came to the realization that the industry had become a sandcastle. The film shows how financiers and bankers created exotic products based on mortgages that were given to financially unstable households and borrowers who had a low credit score. As a result, he came to the conclusion that the subprime mortgage market would eventually collapse, hence the label Big Short. It turned out that he was correct. Since then, Burry, who now manages the hedge fund Scion Asset Management, has developed a reputation as something of an oracle on Wall Street. His Twitter account, which is CassandраBC, demonstrates that he has enthusiastically taken on this job. He is kind of a troublemaker for those who engage in trading and taking risks. He predicted that the stock market was going to have a moment of truth after 2 years of prosperity during the pandemic, and he issued these warnings over the past few months. Burry predicted that the economic situation was going to deteriorate seriously and that massive layoffs of white-collar workers were on the horizon. 2022 was the year in which all of these predictions came true. What do you think of our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, please subscribe and turn on the notification before leaving. Thanks for watching.